Hello everybody and welcome to the Nexus Gaming series. I am Jayzon, and this of course is the lovely Sarah, my co-host for the evening. She'll occasionally be walking her way on through. But once again, we are back here for NGS Season 6, and I have a cattail in my face. That's kind of how it goes around here, you know? You never know what's going to happen. You have to be ready for just about anything. You know, you weren't up here the entire time, but the minute I started casting, she's just loves the camera. So we have today the first heroic division match of the season. We've got Nsomnia versus Revive Esports. And of course, we're looking forward to some of the highest level of competition that we're going to see in Nexus Gaming series in this division. And the premier match coming in for tonight. So hopefully this one will settle down and settle in. And I hope all of you will settle in as well. These teams are getting ready to go. We're getting in the R's, and we're about to go into the first draft. But before we do, let's go ahead and check out the map selections and bans for tonight. Map tool provided, of course, by Weenus. Thank you very much for the tool, my friend, and all the hard work you do. We started off with a ban by Nsomnia onto Battlefield of Eternity and Alterac Pass, banned out by Revive Esports. And finally, Nsomnia picking Towers of Doom for the first map. And speaking of which, let's go on into the draft here for game number 1. Perfectly timed, gentlemen. Gotta love it. So we're going to start out with first pick going over to Revive Esports. And it should be interesting. We've got some pretty common bans in the game. Tanks being highly prioritized as Diablo going to be the first ban out here. And of course the reworked Abathur. No shock to see him on the chopping block right out the gate. Meanwhile, we do see a lot of priority on Azmodan in the lower levels, but in terms of the bans, we'll have to see up here in the upper echelons of NGS if that's still a priority. Kael'thas is again something that's banned out in the lower levels, but not as intimidating at this level. So we'll see if the focus continues to be on tanks for these teams, or if they tend to go more towards some of these damaged heroes. The Genji coming out as the ban, which is pretty interesting. A little bit of a fall off since we saw a few nerfs to his general kit overall. And Maiev, of course, always a terror at the high level. We will see the Zeratul picked up, though, for the side of Revive Esports. Genji, kind of a soft counter to Zeratul, a little extra mobility to be able to counter him. A good Genji, I think, generally will give fits to a good Zeratul. But Maiev, of course, with all that displacement, they don't want to see that. They're going to go ahead and ban that out and get rid of it. So first two picks coming in for Nsomnia. They're going to go with Ana. But of course, still does have the Eye of Horus banned out for the week with the broken nature of the talent. Not just in how powerful it is, but in terms of the actual glitches with that heroic. So it will be Nano Boost, but we're going to see Dahaka also being picked up here for Nsomnia. Good global presence for Towers of Doom. That rotational power really can give you an advantage when these altars spawn and you're wanting to split your troops to try and capture, especially the three-pronged ones. And meanwhile, we'll see Anubarak and Jaina picked up here. So Jaina nerfed a little bit a little while back here. Some of her damage taken away from some of her main abilities, but overall still incredibly strong in the meta. And Anubarak, kind of one of the broken tanks right now in the game. Very, very strong CC potential, excellent dive potential to be able to try and go after this Ana. And just in general, good zone control on these points, being able to get in the way of spells with those beetles, stall out, and try to cap. Or at least give an avenue for your teammates to cap. Meanwhile, Tyrande and Johanna going to be the bans out here. So once again, Revive Esports kind of focusing on the tanks, trying to limit that tank pool a little bit now that they've got their Anubarak. And same sort of chokehold by Nsomnia, just on the healers, taking out the Tyrande.
Every death comes honor.
However, Nsomnia is going to pick up the Garrosh, so we are going to see that potential follow-up. Very good combo with the Garrosh and the Anna with the bio grenade. Once you flip that opponent in and get them stunned, no healing is going to be able to come in. Then again, Lucio's probably on the other side of the map anyway, not really wanting to jump in on that necessarily. But Thrall will be picked up, so another frontliner to hopefully zone for the Jaina and try and put pressure towards that back line. We'll have to see if Revive Esports is looking to maybe dive onto the potential throw target here from Garrosh just to try and counter that strategy. But Orphea will be the pickup for Nsomnia, so good blow-up potential on that focus target, great follow-up damage, and just in general can be kind of a tough hero to pin down for something like a Zeratul with all her extra mobility. All right, so we've got our draft in for game number 1. I want to thank you all for coming out tonight, watching some NGS action as we kick off the season, and we kick off the Heroic Division tonight with the first Heroic Div match, Nsomnia and Revive Esports. Let's get on into this game as we load on in to Towers of Doom. This is going to be a best of 3 series. If you guys are not familiar with NGS, if you haven't been keeping up with things too much to start here, we have changed to the best of 3 system here for Season 6. So, be interesting to see how these teams respond and react after the first games in terms of their map picks. We get to maybe see a little evolution of the draft as the series go along, trying to ban out possible strength heroes played in the previous games in the series. Maybe a little bit of counter pick potential, stealing away some of these heroes. Should be a lot of fun, but let's get on in to Towers of Doom here. Game number 1 of the series. On the left, it is going to be Nsomnia with Battlejet playing the Orphea. We're going to see Wally Snit playing the Garrosh. Team Captain Jamster going to be on the Dahaka. French playing Hanzo. And Psycho going to be on the Ana. Meanwhile, on the right, Revive Esports. We're going to have Gromlin playing the Zeratul. Fun Buns going to be on the Thrall. JTR on a Nubarak. Tempest playing the Lucio. And Zenaris going to be playing the Jaina.
Let the battle begin.
Alright, so both teams going to go ahead and file on in to the mid lane to start this one off. 5v5. WrestleMania, if you will. When it comes to the Nexus. And right away, we're going to see the relative wave clears coming out. Blizzard coming in from the side of Revive Esports. Meanwhile, Orphea getting in there, getting the wave cleared. Slight advantage for the side of Revive Esports, but they also had Zeratul up in the top lane. So a bit of a 4v5 there. Wanting to play a little passively. Sleep comes in from Psycho. Gonna land onto Zenaris. Slow that rotation just a tad bit, but both teams right now not wanting to get in too aggressively. Mostly just rotating along. Meanwhile, up in the solo lane is going to be Gromlin. Kind of passive soaking. Not wanting to be too overly aggressive. Solo laners going to feel each other out at the beginning of this match before they get too deep in. And right away, we're going to see quick rotation from Revive Esports. 1 minute. That Sapper Camp is up. And it looks like both teams are going to go ahead and do the same thing. Looking for those quick camps. This is what you see in the Heroic Division. A huge leap in macro play over some of the lower divisions. Camp timings usually pretty spot on in this division. Battlejet being dived on a little bit here. Does manage to juke the stuns, though, from JTR. Both teams will go ahead and walk away. We'll have to see if either team can get any kind of advantage here in terms of trying to push in these sapper camps. We are going to see 2 rotating to the mid, so it's going to be a 3v3 down here in the bot lane as they try and push in these sappers. Sleep does go out on JTR. Wally Snit hitting a minion with that toss. And it looks like for right now, advantage going over to Revive Esports, but the question is, can they push Nsomnia back far enough? They do get 1 sapper to charge on in, but it looks like for now that's going to be it for Revive Esports, and both teams will go ahead and walk away. In the mid, Fun Buds and French just kind of passive soaking. Root has actually come out, though, as I say that. And now French taking a ton of damage. Just managed to jump over the wall, though. Fun Buns giving him a little bit of a warning shot. Meanwhile, in the bot, things are starting to get a little bit dicey. Wally Snit going to have to get healed up there from Psycho. But that's the kind of work Anna likes. Just constant healing. Fun Buns not quite finding the mark there with the Root. Meanwhile, triple altar phase is up here. Looks like both teams are just going to send their solo laners to the top and are going to 4v4 here in the bot. But Dahaka does have the brush stock available to come on down directly into this. So slight rotational advantage for them. They ping the back, but it looks like Jamster's going to come in from the bottom. Meanwhile, JTR just caps it. Just straight up caps it in the middle of all this. It's like, don't mind if I do, thank you very much. That's going to be a 4-shot advantage going over to the side of Revive Esports. Charge does come in onto Garrosh. Got to be careful here. Bio Grenade in response, but they don't really need the healing when they're at full health. Wally Snit's going to have to walk away. Meanwhile, Hanzo going down in the mid. Gromlin rotating down from that solo lane position, able to help Fun Buns capitalize on the solo Hanzo this time around. Close call last time, and this time it results in first blood for Revive Esports. Jamster still up in the top lane doing Dahaka things. We'll see Gromlin rotate up in time to get the XP. Wally Snit rotating to the top. So that's going to give the opportunity. That pick, really the big win there is that it pulls the members of Nsomnia away from the bot lane to have to soak mid. And now Wally Snit caught out in a very bad way. And the Unstoppable is not going to do it. Once again, Revive Esports on the rotation game, on point. We're taking advantage in these pick scenarios. Now they're going to be able to take the camp as well here. Now Siege Camp going to march right down to that bottom lane and potentially do even more damage to this bottom bell tower. Bottom, of course, the lane of choice. Priority lane for most teams here on Towers of Doom. 2 Sapper camps feed into it. Meanwhile, JTR jumping on the back there onto Psycho. Gonna think better of it for the moment as Wally Snit comes back in, but they do manage to push some of those Sappers right on into the altar, into the bell tower, I should say, as the altar spawns. Now the question is, can they get here in time? It does look like Hanzo will get the 1, but is going to get punished for it pretty harshly there from Fun Buns. Meanwhile, Tempest going to have to back out there as Jamster comes in on the backside with that brush stock. Hanzo does end up falling to Gromlin once again. Now Jamster getting very low. Does have some of the self-healing there from the Essence, but is going to have to walk away, and for right now it looks like Nsomnia is going to have to give this one up, and Revive Esports once again controlling the points. Also good rotational awareness as soon as Hanzo went down there. Gromlin able to rotate up to the top, get a little bit of extra soaking time. While Jamster's going to have to waddle his way on back up to the top lane after burning that brush stock to get down to the objective. And actually, let's bring up the talents for you guys. I apologize. I actually see, here's the rust. Here's the rust showing here in game number 1. We'll give you guys a look at these talents. As the heroic picks do come in here, level 10 for Revive Esports, it's going to be Earthquake with the Sound Barrier, Web Wrap, Void Prison, and the Ring of Frost. So, side of Revive Esports, looking for that potential wombo combo from the Void Prison and the Ring of Frost. Won't hurt to have the Earthquake on top of all that mess. So it's going to be up to the members of Nsomnia to try to not group for any of these big VPs. You see them spreading out already as the members of Revive Esports are ready for it. The Web Wrap goes down onto the Garrosh, and they're going to be able to push those Sappers in. Another couple points off the board here for Nsomnia. And just like that, it's a 10-point advantage for Revive Esports. But level 10s are now in for the side of Nsomnia. It is going to be the Crushing Jaws for Orphea, along with the Isolation, Dragon Arrow, Warlord's Taunt, and, of course, the Nano Boost, as Eye of Horus is banned for the week. Double altar spawn up in the top right now. Nobody on the side of Revive Esports up to cap theirs just yet. Gromlin will walk on up, but it looks like Jamster could get there in time to interrupt. Meanwhile, there's a huge battle going on here in the bot lane. Big priority going on. Gromlin does manage to grab that and get out in a timely fashion. But meanwhile, the battle rages on here in the bot lane. As right now, the members of Nsomnia can't seem to push in on this. Once again, the cap will go down, or the web wrap, I should say, will go down. He does do the taunt and try to toss in a Nubarak, but meanwhile, the ring goes down, and that is going to be another kill for the side of Revive Esports. They're going to get the Orphea in that combo. Didn't even need the Void Prism. Credit there to Zenaris. Those rings can be tricky. Manages to knock one out of the park there. We see now level 13 achieved for Revive Esports, and they've got a pretty good grip on this game right now. They're not looking to let it go anytime soon. They're going to continue to cap these bottom sappers on both sides of the map, really, and continue to try and push them in to get just a little bit of an extra advantage. Sleep Dart not quite finding the mark there from Psycho. As we see once again, Gromlin actually very low up here. Living on the edge. That's the Zeratul way. Meanwhile, the members of Nsomnia trying to step up just a little bit here. Seeing if they can find an isolation. Right now hasn't been working for him this game so far. Blizzard goes down. Root Unstoppable has to be popped by Wally. And they have managed to stop these sappers right at the line, and they are going to be able to get them down here. But for right now, the big story is the bell tower here in bottom. Tempest is going to be able to wheel his way on back to pick that up. And Nsomnia is going to try and take advantage of the lack of the support to try and get some damage on this bell tower, but still incredibly healthy. You know, you'd think they'd have like an Abathur with Mule or something for how much health this bell tower still has. But really, it's just an incredible defense from Revive Esports, and Nsomnia being incredibly patient here in terms of trying to get what they can when they can, looking for some kind of pick. It is Hours of Doom, so they're never out of it. You don't want to step in too far and make it worse, but you do have to start to wonder if this game is just kind of slowly slipping away from them. Dahaka kind of doing the double soak this whole game so far, and they gotta look out. Zeratul coming down here. They of course have no vision on him. Would know he's missing on map, but meanwhile Jamster comes in the back as well. Everybody hitting the R button. Sound barrier goes down, and in comes Revive Esports. Wally Snick getting very low. The ring comes out, and that's going to be 2 down as 3 are caught back in the VP. Anna is going to receive the web wrap. And for right now, Gromlin going to finish off the camp, and they're going to look to push those in as their reward. But Psycho goes down. 3 more kills on the board. 7-0 for Revive Esports. 16 right around the corner. And the triple altar spawn right on cue here, as Revive Esports is going to look to finish this game off in style. If they cap all 3, that is going to be lights out, game over, even before they get any of these over the line, which they'll get all 3. And they do still need all 3, but we'll have to see. Fun Bun's going to the bot. Dahaka positioned up in the top, ready to try and cap this one.
Now.
I like this call from Revive Esports. They're not going to be too overly greedy here. Even with the level 16, they want to keep the bottom lane priority. And 4 members here for Nsomnia still trying to cap this back, but they just don't have, especially with the Hanzo, they just don't have very good siege damage. Looks like finally, mercilessly, Revive Esports is going to walk away from the bottom bell tower and allow Nsomnia to get it back, but that's just because they're going to the boss. They're trying to finish this thing off. And there is absolutely no way that Nsomnia is going to be able to rotate here fast enough. And that is going to be it. Game 1. A complete domination by Revive Esports. Holy cow. 30-0. total control over the bottom bell tower. They had their foot on the gas, and they just would not let up, folks. Give them the point. They have earned it. Pretty quick game number 1 here for Revive. We'll see if Nsomnia's got any adjustments to make for game number 2. And while we set that game up, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go to a very quick break. Thank you once again for joining us. We'll be back in a few moments for game number 2. Alright, we're coming back a little bit early. It's a good sign because the actual game itself is playing the right music. But we are back. We'll take a quick look at the maps here. We do have our game number 2 ready to go. Towers, or not Towers, Tomb of the Spider Queen, going to be picked by Nsomnia. They did elect for map pick. So once again, Revive Esports going to have first pick, first ban. So let's go get going on into game number 2. These guys are ready to go with the lobby.
Tomb of the Spider.
We'll see if Insomnia can come back and bring this one to game number 3. Of course, Tomb of the Spider Queen. Definitely a wave clear heavy priority map. The way these web waivers work, if you don't got the wave clear, they will run over your buildings. Though a lot of people do say that in the face of wave clear, the map objective not the strongest in the Nexus on this map, but we will see a new Barak going to be banned out this time by Revive Esports. So they don't want to play that one again, but they also don't want it used against them. Johanna going to be banned out, of course. Massive wave clear hero in this game. Probably I would say the best wave clear tank in the game. Certainly one of the best wave clear heroes overall. John Knight. This is why you are Jason, not musician. Music Jean? Okay, yeah, okay. I actually did go to school for music. So, feels bad, man, but that's okay. Zeratul gonna be banned out this time by Revive Esports, so I'm just kind of saying, nah. You know, actually, wait a minute. Did the teams swap on me? I think the teams might have swapped on me. Let's see. Oh, right, I can see it now in game. That's nice. Yes, they did swap on me. That's okay. We've got this handy-dandy swap tool. Gotta love it. Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense. I gotta be honest. Let me just swap the logos real quick, and then we'll be good to go. I've been trolled many a time in my day, so I've got used to going with it. All right, there we go. That's better. So this time, Insomnia not wanting to see the Zeratul or the new Barak used against them.
Checking in.
Meanwhile, the Johanna and Maev bans for Revive. Again, at Maev, nobody wanting to play against it. That the power that is that tool. Meanwhile, Anna picked up for Insomnia here once again. Sticking with faith to the Anna. Hanzo going to be banned out for Revive Esports. Yeah, Sadat, it's really nice we can see the names now, so I could figure it out given just a second. Meanwhile, we will see Jaina Garrosh on the other side, so Revive Esports kind of trying to take that Garrosh strategy that we saw from Insomnia the last game, but they're going to use Jaina as the potential follow-up, as we did see a very good Jaina game last game. Those rings pretty deadly, even without the follow-up from Void Prism, which is pretty neat.
Anytime you're ready.
Meanwhile, we'll
Let's
see
save some
Raynor
lives.
and Morales picked up. Morales, a very interesting pick here for Revive Esports. They're going to be looking to have some good single target sustain. Can really help Garrosh stay alive, particularly with all the armor he gets at low health. But also Stim for Raynor can be very, very strong. And the slows that they get from Groundbreaker and all of Jaina's abilities going to be very nice for that level 1 ace in the hole from Raynor. Meanwhile, Orphea is going to be the pickup here for Insomnia once again. And they're going to go with the Phoenix this time as the secondary backline damage. Now the Blaze should be interesting, now with the bunker having been nerfed on the cooldown. We'll see if he can still be effective. Still great wave clear hero. Still good tank up in front to try and zone and set up some stuns for this back line. And it will be the Thrall coming out once again from Revive Esports. So they're going to look to probably stack the Earthquake on top of all of those other slows, trying to get Jimmy what he's looking for. And we'll see here in game number 2 if Nsomnia could come back after what was obviously a dominating effort from Revive Esports in that game 1. But, you know, these are heroic division teams, folks. They're not going to get rattled just because, you know, one game didn't go well. They know that it's a whole new game on a completely different map. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys respond. Alright. So we are loading in here for game number 2 on to Towers of Doom. Let's go ahead and introduce your team. On the left this time, up 1-0 in the series, it is going to be Revive Esports. We're going to have Tempest on the Morales. Fun Buns playing Raynor. JTR is going to be on the Garrosh. Zenaris is going to be back again on the Jaina. And Gromlin going to be playing the Thrall. Meanwhile, on the right, Nsomnia. We're going to see Wally Snit playing the Diablo, Psycho going to be on the Anna, Battlejet playing Orphea, Jamster on the Blaze, and French going to be playing the Phoenix.
1. Let the battle begin.
There we go. Up we go into the God view of the Nexus. As all 5 members going to come into mid. Look to try and get a little bit of a rotational advantage here. I definitely say the wave clear power is a little bit stronger on Revive Esports, but both teams have it. Oh, but a huge throw in there. JTR finding the isolation onto the Diablo right away. And this time we're going to bring up the talents for you guys right from level 1. Interesting talent pick right away here from the Jaina. Zenaris going to be going with Lingering Chill. So we're going to have a 6-second slow. Really slowing down the members of Nsomnia. It's an interesting talent, you know. Jaina, a very mana-intensive hero. And, you know, that talent, while you do get the extra 2 seconds of slow, for the first 4 seconds after you hit somebody, it's not really changing anything. So, we're very interested to see how much value we see Zenaris get out of that talent. Meanwhile, we are going to see a little bit of an isolation there on a Wally Snit once again, but he'll have to walk his way out. And I will say this, Wally Snit's not going to like that talent. He's not going to enjoy it. It's not going to be a fun game for him at the rate it's going. And JTR, with all the confidence in the world to start this one off, as he knows he's got that healing beam constantly coming in from Morales, and so he's got no fear as he rotates through here. Wally Snit maybe stepping a little bit too far. Once again getting tossed, but no follow-up. Nice engage from Battlejet and Psycho on the bottom there. Kind of pressuring the damage to not be able to turn the corner. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, no real advantage gained here. Gromlin a little bit forward, but French actually looking at maybe a little bit of a... Yeah, they are going to totally find Gromlin out in the middle of the lane. No way he escapes that, and that's going to be a nice amount of gems falling to the ground here. Meanwhile, they're going to leave a couple members in each lane up in the top to carry the soak. And that is first blood going over to Nsomnia this game, so nice response here Not really honoring that gentleman's agreement in the bottom lane as they rotate in on the solo laner. But this is the heroic division. There is no gentleman's agreement. They're going to do what they need to do to win, man. Meanwhile, bottom camp going to be picked up for Nsomnia. They're going to have that marching on in. Both teams starting to turn in a few gems here and there as they rotate along. Battlejet wisely backing up out of that as the rotation comes up from Revive. Meanwhile, quest has been completed here for Thrall on that level 1. Gromlin does manage to get those that siege camp cleaned up here in the bot lane. Only half a tower worth of damage down here as the turn-in dance continues. Meanwhile, camp captured for Nsomnia, so they're definitely getting the macro started in this game as they're able to get a little bit of a rotational advantage from the pick and then the camps. And they're pretty much even on turn-in right now, but they do have a nice little gem advantage. Meanwhile, Orphea getting hers turned in up in the top. So now just 9 more to see some web weavers coming out here for Nsomnia. Meanwhile, nice clear from Revive Esports, able to kind of negate that in the middle. Gromlin comes up, gets a nice poke out onto French to deny that turn-in. Wally Snit does come down onto him though, gets the overpower, and the sleep out on the Tempest is going to prevent him from healing Gromlin. But now, on the back line is JTR. Looking at French, and he'll escape with less than 50 health. Whew. Phoenix cutting it close there. Meanwhile, JTR going to take the golden opportunity to get the turn in. Both teams do have enough for turn in. Meanwhile, up in the top, no gems owned by any of those characters, so everything's down here. And I don't think either team is going to let the turn-in happen. Both teams have pretty tremendous poke and denial pressure for these turn-in zones. Lieutenant Morales not even bothering with the grenade, but meanwhile, Raynor falling in the top lane. Wally Snit trying to sneak the turn-in. That would be enough as they only need 6 more. JTR is here to zone and pressure. Oh, and the sleep dart from Psycho. Give the man a cookie. Well, we don't have any cookies, but we do have some web weavers that are going to come out as a reward for that sleep dart interrupt. Very sneaky. And now battle level until Nsomnia gets their level 10s here. They do have about that half-level lead, so we'll have to see exactly when the 10s come in here. If they can get the 10s sometime during this, oh my goodness, Wally Snit thrown over the wall. What was I saying? He's going to end up going down right as the wall falls. But that is going to proc an instant retreat from the members of Nsomnia. Rough break right as the web weavers come out. Battlejet will rotate to the top. Going to at least try and be in the area to get the XP. But this is going to give free reign turn-in the mid, or free range clear, I should say, in the top and the mid, and that's a bummer. That's a huge, huge bummer right there. It also looks like Wallyston actually did have the 100. So yeah, it looks like he's going to end up getting those stacks reset. Rough break for him. And front wall and bot. Most of the front wall and mid, and pretty much nothing in the top lane. That's 50 gems. I wouldn't say down the tubes, but definitely not utilized the way they were hoping, I think. Did give them the early level 10 advantage, but now level 10s come in for Revive Esports. Let's take a look at these. It's still going to be bunker drop here for Blaze. Orphea holding right now. Nano boost, however, coming in along with the Purification Savo. Ooh, and meanwhile, the kill onto Jaina. Battlejet able to get up in there. Huge Purification Savo coming down, but all the members are going to be able to get out with just a sliver of health here as the mid-camp gets cleared away. Where was I? Lightning Breath here for Diablo. Meanwhile, on the other side, it is going to be Raynor's Raider We're going to see the Warlord's Challenge with the Stim, the Water Elemental, and the Earthquake for the side of Revive Esports. So, going with the Water Elemental, a little extra slow poke here. Especially in combination with the Rainer damage, that level 1 from Jaina looking a little bit more appealing. Especially with that Water Elemental able to track people down. Gromlin trying to turn in here, but Blaze able to zone and pressure. Meanwhile, back and forth action here over the top turn in. Nsomnia has managed to get another 44 gems turned in while it's going on, but the taunt comes down. And once again, Garrosh isolated and completely blown up there. Meanwhile, Tempest going to get the turn in on the back end, and that will spawn the first set of Web Weavers for Revive Esports. 3-3 on the kill count. Slight level lead right now for Nsomnia, but that's likely to change just a little bit with these Web Weavers coming out.
Red team, defend yourselves.
Pretty much all of these lanes pushed up pretty well. These Web Weavers are going to be pressuring in every lane. They clear it out just in time for the Web Weaver to get right in range of these towers. Meanwhile, look at Wally Snick getting thrown over by JTR. JTR turning the corner, going around the long way to get to him. And that's going to be yet another kill onto the Diablo. Just can't manage to get away from that Garrosh. You know, the Jaina, a good counter to Garrosh, but also a great enabler. Much like the Lucio speeding him up, the Jaina slowing everyone else down, making it just that much easier for JTR to get in and to get that throw in. Meanwhile, top fort does go down. Orphea going to be trying to clear that up as it heads in towards the top wall. And the pressure coming into mid here for Revive Esports. Once again, Wally Snit tossed, rooted, ton of damage coming down the taunt. And he is going to be taken out, not even able to get into the bunker here from Jamster. They tried to get him out, not quite able to get it done. And suddenly, it's going to be 5-3 on the kill count as Revive Esports starts to edge them out a little bit. And now back-to-back turn-ins coming in. They have chipped away at this mid fort, but it looks like right now the members of Revive Esports going to focus on the bot lane as they see members showing in mid and top. Diablo just now respawning, and JTR are going to be able to get the toss onto Jamster, and he's in all kinds of trouble. Anna trying to heal him on down the lane, but not going to be able to keep him alive. That Water Elemental just keeping him slowed, keeping him locked down. Fun Buns just shooting him down. And Revive Esports on the execution here in the back half of this game. And that'll be the second fort down now for the members of Nsomnia. As Revive Esports will look to claim their third fort of the game. About a level lead now. The trickle XP will continue to help them get a little bit further ahead with all these forts down. They're even going to get a little bit of damage here in the bot lane onto this front wall. As Jamster clears this up. Now this is kind of a war of attrition here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. You see a lot of matches on this map kind of go this way. You got to do the slow bleed on your opponent. As now the members of Revive Esports splitting up, going ahead and looking to grab all of the camps that they can manage to get. Turn-in is available for Nsomnia, but with 16 right around the corner, I'm not sure that this is the right time for them to get a turn-in. They do have about... They got a full level until they'll have their 16 talents. Looks like for now they're going to go ahead and just look to get the camp here rolling into mid. And that's going to spawn a rotation to the top lane by Revive Esports. They are going to go after this boss. They know they have the 16. They know that Nsomnia, even if they were in the area, could not do anything about grabbing this. So free boss for Revive Esports. That's going to be marching pretty much directly on to the top keep. It's going to give Revive Esports reign of the map as multiple members going to have to try and go back and clear this, you would think. Web Weavers will come out here. Half a level still for Nsomnia to pick this up, but they need the counter pressure in these lanes right now. Boss does manage to make it through that turret. He's going to be looking at the keep now, but French is here to defend. Members filing on in. They're going to leave Jamster alone in the bottom lane to try and help aid the push of this bottom Web Weaver. And with the help of the Web Weaver, they managed to get the boss down without too much damage to their keep. Level 16 is now picked up for Nsomnia. They can look to fight here if they want. But for right now, just looking to even out the lane pressure. Half-health Web Weaver still in the top lane, still pushing. We'll have to see if they can find any kind of engagement here. Diablo does manage to finish off his souls. It's a good time for them to fight, but not really much to fight into. The structure is still very, very healthy for the side of Revive Esports. And they are not stepping out. Revive Esports know they have about that level lead. They know they can just wait this out until 20. But they do manage to find Jamster in the bush there with the water elemental. Fun's getting poked a little bit low, but a whiff there on the Orphea ult. Not quite able to capture him with those jaws. And Anna is going to be caught out. And the first to fall. The toss in onto Jet. He's going down. Orphea falls. Couple more picks, couple more kills, another turn-in on the way, and Revive Esports rolling here in game number 2 of the series. And they're going to go straight for that top keep. And actually, Jamster might be in trouble here. The slows are going to come down, and we know those last a little bit longer this game. The Groundbreaker comes out, the toss. Wally Snit trying to respond, but the Morales heals just too strong. The level lead not hurting, but now 10-3 on the kill count as Revive Esports looking to try and polish this one off and put this domination in the record books. JTR is going to be isolated a little bit. We see the breath coming down, but the healing beam is just too much with all that armor. Phoenix is going to end up going down to Jaina. And just like that, first keep down, second keep down. Toss actually going on to a minion there, so Wally Snit getting a little bit of a break. We see the charge in from Jamster. They're looking to try and salvage this game as the shields are gone, but it's just going to be too much. The core being melted here by Revive Esports. The brawl continues, but the game will end there as Revive Esports scores the clean 2-0 victory to start off the Heroic Division season here for NGS. Season 6. Very, very clean play all around by Revive Esports. Nsomnia showing signs of life in the early part of that game. But boy, once those level 10s came in, once Water Elemental and Stim Pack for the Rainer, the Warlord's Challenge for Garrosh, they had the isolative tools they needed, and they executed it beautifully. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and reach out to the team captain for Revive Esports, see if we can get somebody in for an interview, and we will be right back with the winner's interview Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in just a minute or two.
How are the games for you?
All right, we are back with team captain for Revive Esports, Fun Buns. Congratulations on the win, man. How you guys feeling right now?
Feeling pretty good. Not bad, not bad. Got a fight night coming up Friday. Pretty excited for that.
There you go. So, is this kind of what you were expecting from Nsomnia? Did you guys have you guys faced these guys before? Like, what's your history with these guys?
We scrimmed them a few times here and there, and then we slowly kind of just progressed to harder and harder teams. So I know Jamster pretty well too. But other than that, not too much.
Sweet. So you guys start out with a win here, domination victory in the first week. What are you guys kind of expecting from Season 6 here for NGS? Any teams you're looking forward to facing in particular? How do you guys think you're going to do?
I think we're going to do pretty well, either top 3 or top 2. And I think the Celeb TV matchup is going to be a pretty good game to watch. They're another Div S team, so it's going to be pretty cool to play them in another league.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a matchup for us to watch out for. One last question for you guys. Looking at that game number 2, we saw a lot of wave clear and a lot of early game pressure coming in from Nsomnia. How did you guys feel about that match going in towards the late game, and what was just kind of your general strategy as you were heading towards that those 10 heroics?
We were just looking to just punish Diablo with the Garrosh. It was kind of weird early game. I thought we were actually going to win the early game, but we actually fell behind on the macro and stuff. But we managed to just pull through with our level 10s and stuff.
All right, well, congratulations again on the win. If you got any shout-outs you want to make, the floor is yours, my friend.
Shout-outs to the team. Shout-outs to Troy1010 for being a good coach. Shout-out to Xenaris. He did really well today in his tryout. Oh, I guess shout-out to Little Bex, just in case she's watching, because she flamed me last time. And I think that's it.
All right, well, thanks for coming on. Congratulations on the win. Go enjoy it with your team, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's going to do it for me. Guys, we've got another matchup coming in just a little bit here in NGS. Bahamut is going to be casting a match starting at 6 o'clock, so I'm going to send you guys over there as soon as I haven't actually checked to see if he's live yet, but don't go anywhere. We'll go ahead and raid his channel as soon as he's going. And we're closed out here. And thanks again for joining us, guys, for the Nexus Gaming Series. I am Jayzon, and we'll see you guys next time.